Hey! So apparently I still want to be nice to things, even after the last video I did about things I love. Watch that video. But yeah, so today I am going to do the most and try to be nice by recommending slash complimenting some books I absolutely can't stand. If you watched my video about reading one-star reviews of books I hated, then this is a very similar selection of books, only this time I'm not being very agreeable with people that also hated it, but I'm actually trying to fish for some compliments I can give this book in any way. And I love a backhanded compliment, so maybe I'm good at this. But I still don't think you should read any of these, but I don't know, maybe there's some comedic value here. These are mostly my 1 or 2 star books out of the last few years. I did not include my DNFs except for one, because I have already thought of a thing I could recommend for that. And yeah, why shouldn't we get into that? I think we should just start with that one DNF, and that's The Terror by Dan Simmons. And my compliment slash recommendation for this book is, I think you would really enjoy this book if you want to be occupied for a long time. This book is over 1,000 pages long in my edition, and yeah, if you do not have any hobbies, a job, other books to read, or people in your life to talk to, then you could spend a huge chunk of your time on this earth reading this book. And if you want to do that, then I would really recommend to see it. Next is When Haru Was Here by Dustin Tao, and my compliment for this one is, it is a YA book, and I think it really achieves it, maybe not intentionally, because the character is supposed to be 18 and reads like a 14-year-old, but if the purpose of this book was supposed to be to make the character feel very young and immature, then it did achieve that. And if you want to read about somebody who behaves like they're 14, then pick this book up. Also, I kind of should disclaim that there is obviously smut and drinking and stuff in this book, and that's not appropriate for a 14-year-old to do. I get that, but the guy in this book really does behave like he's 14. Just because of how, I don't know, inconsequential, stupid, and just generally messy he is. And like, maybe that's something to say about that, but yeah, I think he does. So in the case of My Sister's Keeper, my compliment slash recommendation is that the ending really did surprise me. I do not want to get into if this twist that came out of nowhere was actually good or didn't make any sense or just left the entire book feeling hollow and stupid, but because I don't want to be negative. But it did surprise me, and if that was the intention, then it did achieve that. And if you are into things that surprise you without actually having any build up to it, then maybe you would really enjoy this book. Also, if you didn't get it, this entire video is like sarcasm. And I don't know if I'm good at that, but I definitely want to try. So in terms of compliments for Afterglow, I probably have to say that the art is very pretty. And that's all I have to say about that one. Because I just talked about the art being pretty, why don't we lump it in with the next one? The Three Body Problem manhwa. The art is very pretty. Does the book make sense in any other regard? I don't know, but the art is pretty. That's my recommendation. So I think you would really like The Troop by Nick Cutter if you hate kids and want to see terrible things done to them. That makes you probably not a really good person, but I think you really like this book. So I would really recommend Deep House by Cherry Mae Atherton Lynn if you do not know how to use Wikipedia or just Google marriage equality. I think then you would really enjoy this. I can't believe that I actually found a recommendation for Nick the Drunkard, but I think if you are a homophobe, then you would really love this book, because you probably would need something, and there aren't many rational sources to affirm your bigoted worldview. And if you would read this, then I think you would be very strongly affirmed in your absolutely horrifying beliefs. So yeah, if any homophobes actually watch this channel, read this book, I guess. By the way, again, sarcasm. I would never ever actually anybody want to be homophobic. Please don't get me that way. Sarcasm. Again, sarcasm, please. Like, oh my god. So my compliment for Feindesland Band 3 bonus stories is that it has Ampreg in it. And I've never actually faulted anything for getting men pregnant. The story is just not very good, but like, again, no negativity, but it's MPreg. If you want that, then maybe pick it up. My recommendation for Cold Snap by Lindy Ryan might sound very similar to a thing that I'm probably going to bring up at the end of this video because it's the ultimate recommendation in this case. But if you want to pick up Cold Snap, then the writing in every other fan fiction level, kindergarten ridden book will actually seem better because the writing in Cold Snap is just that atrocious. So that literally the most rudimentary sentences will feel like absolute poetry to you if you pick this up. I would recommend Dreamcatcher by Stephen King to every immature teenage boy from around the 90s or 80s because I think you would really see yourself in this one. The entire fart humor, the absolute immaturity, the absolute stupidity of the story, and how that thing is literally the only thing that he can portray. Yeah, I mean, again, apparently this is how men talk to each other. I wouldn't know because I'm not one, but I think they would like this. Immature boys, pick this up. I would absolutely recommend Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman for everybody that wants a story that maybe superficially thinks it has some commentary and then they want to feel better about themselves because they have read this important book, even though the story is not that difficult to engage with, actually doesn't have any deep themes and spells those themes out in the most obvious way. So if you don't have a functioning brain, but still want to like feel like you do and read something important, then maybe pick this up. My compliment for Sakulina by Philip Fracasti is that it's short. I know that probably sounds mean, but it goes over very quickly, and that is a good thing in this case. So I can't believe I actually found a funny complimentary thing about The Broken Chuck by Heinrich von Kleist, but I have to say that the interaction we had with my German teacher about this book when we had to talk, because he wanted to for some reason, about the broken jug as a metaphor for the virginity of this young girl in the story, his reaction to that was very funny. I don't know. That's probably the only positive experience I have with this book, because seeing him go red about talking about this topic, even though he seemingly wanted to talk about it, like, you didn't really have to. Like, just put it on a piece of paper and say that we have to learn this for our test or something. You don't have to really make an entire lesson about it. But it was very funny. The entire book is awful, but again, I don't want negativity. Like, no negativity. What the hell? This video is positive. Oh my god, I'm being so obnoxious right now. And you might say that you possibly can't have any recommendation for the worst book you have ever read in Twins by Dear Kobe White. And I'll tell you that you're wrong. I would recommend this book, because if you decide for some reason to pick up Twins by Dear Kobe White, then every other book you will ever read will seem better to you, no matter how garbage it is. It will seem at least marginally better than whatever Dear Kobe White put to paper there. Again, I've already kind of said this with my recommendation for Cold Snap, but here it's not just the writing. I kind of think the writing in Cold Snap is worse. But like, the entire plot, the entire themes, everything in this book, I have an entire video about it, you can watch it. But everything else that any other book does, no matter how surface level, no matter how absolutely obvious, no matter how absolutely not deep, no matter how actively harmful, it will seem better than this book. I want to say because it's just that garbage, but again, positivity. So yeah, this was probably a very short video that nobody really got anything out of, and I'm sorry for doing it, but I just wanted to film a silly little thing, because actually originally I wanted to make an entire review for Evil Dead Burn, which I just saw this weekend, but then I realized that me talking for 40 minutes about a movie that I don't even really have any footage for because it's only in cinemas and I only have the trailer to go off of, but I want to talk about the entire movie because I have so many deep thoughts, would probably be very boring. And the last movie video I did kind of really tanked my channel for like 2 weeks, so I don't want to do that again. I don't know if this video is going to do better, but I don't know. I hope you still enjoyed at least some of my sarcasm. I don't know if it landed. I don't know if I'm actually funny. I probably am not. Like, what the hell? Why am I rambling again? I don't know. If you enjoyed this video, if you have actually like read any of these books and agree with my sentiments, or if you want to give an actual recommendation in the comments, or say why these books are not as bad as I make them out to be, or why my backhanded compliments are actually like kind of mean and don't make sense, then I would really appreciate you to do that, because I obviously am always for people having their own opinions on things. And yeah, I am probably going to be back with a better video soon. I always say that, and then I'm not, but like, I hope you still stick around and watch my next video. Bye!